D to the M, live and direct. Actually, it's almost noon. So, if you were here last time, um, I was drawing the darkness, and I got pretty far. Just noodling around and trying to figure out how I was gonna do the little imps that he has hanging around him. And yeah, did a couple of studies, and right now I'm working on the I don't know, little drawing I had, in mind. So this didn't take too long to do, but it's not done yet. So let's try to do work on that today. I can't stay here for that long today, so let's get started. It took me a while to figure out his hair, to be honest with you. There's kind of a distinct way his hair is done, and just by paying attention to the other artists who've drawn this character do, the way they draw their hair, the way they draw the mask. It's kind of an interesting mask he wears. I don't think it represents anything in particular as far as the facial features. It's just a cool design, and I just kind of went with that. And it seems like the different artists have different designs, and this is very similar to the designs that have already been made. As far as the mask is concerned, it's almost like a bottom face mask that covers. I don't know what you would call it. Besides that, like Batman has a cowl. This is kind of like a reverse cowl, I guess. You you see what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just very interestingly put together, and based on the renditions I've seen of this character, I'm just doing something similar. I'm not necessarily copying. I'm just looking at it and thinking to myself, oh wow, okay, this does that, this does that. This other artist represents it this way or that way, and I'm like, okay, well, I got to figure out a way I'm going to do it so that I can stay on model. And it's not that much different from what's already been done. Even though I might try to take it a little further from this and add a little bit more of this or that, it's pretty much on model. This is it's fun. I really want to I really wanted to get this done a lot quicker. Oh, why are you so slow? So I'll be honest. I decided to edit one of my live streams from drawing or coloring Witchblade, right? And I ended up in a rabbit hole for almost double the time that it took me to make that or live stream that to make the video. And right now, the video's edited. I took out every part of me talking. Right now I'm talking, so I should just let's draw when I talk. So that way it'll be less time to edit these videos. That way I can talk and it's not me not drawing, right? So yeah, it took me so much time to edit myself without talking or pulling my hand away or going like this, right? Instead of continuing to draw, that I wasted a lot of time. But I did, however, manage to get this far, so I'm happy. I would be happier, if I could be quicker at editing videos, but I'm not, so happy enough, I guess. So my main motivation today, or at least within the next hour or two, is to finish this all inked and then figure out how I'm going to color it. Not that I'm going to color it all within the next 1 1.5, 2 hours, but I'm definitely gonna have it finished, ready to color. The character of the darkness is created by one of my all-time favorites. Matter of fact, he's in my top 10 of all time, okay? Mark Silvestri. And that's, I'm not going to talk about which, I have to review, right? But come on, top 10 is stellar. And, there are hundreds, right, that I have as far as who I enjoy to look at. But man, top 10. I might put, you know what, top 5. Screw it. I'm not going to say whether he's top 1 or top 2 because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I was just playing. But and I don't want to seem like I'm sucking up or anything either because I'm about to enter this contest or talent search for the darkness. The darkness. Now his suit is really interesting. Like as you can see, it's almost like Art Nouveau. You know what I'm saying? Took a big, beautiful dump on this guy and gave him the most wildest, creative, and bejeweled armor or whatever he's wearing. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's very intricate. Unfortunately, it's too intricate that all of this would have to be dumped down if they were to make like an animation or whatever of this character. A cartoon? Yeah, there's no way anybody's gonna sit down. Hey, who knows? Maybe AI can do it, right? I can find worse things for AI to do. I mean, better than I'd rather have AI do that than actually try to do art. Like assist in it, right? In those ways, not like, oh well, AI's got a better idea than I do, so I'm gonna go ahead and trace it. Nah, that's not. If AI has better ideas than you, then dude, you have no ideas, man. Flat out, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna mollycoddle nobody, especially somebody who uses AI. You gotta sit your ass down and draw something in order for you to go anywhere, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here right now doing this. And like I said, you see my video. If you've seen my videos, you know I'm legit. I'm not. I might not be the best, right? Immediately, but yo, I put the time in. And oh well, AI could do it a lot quicker. Well then, go ahead and use AI, right? It's not my thing. But anyways, I'm not looking into the chat to see if anyone's there right now because at this point I really don't give a. But at the same time, if there is someone in the chat room, welcome. And it's a lovely day outside. I hope you guys are having an excellent time of it. And peace to all. Peace and love to all the independent creators out there, everyone who's trying, or not just trying, but actually putting together stuff for the rest of us to enjoy and not just enjoy, but to be inspired by it, right? Because I mean, that's the meaning of life, right? Enjoyment, right? You want to enjoy. I mean, even if it's, a little thing, a small thing that you enjoy. As long as it's not illegal. And I'm pretty sure I can get an amen for that one, right? Even from the non-religious people. I don't want to get an amen from that. I'm not trying to be religious. Matter of fact, I'm probably the least religious person you're ever going to meet. But at the same time, I'm fond of the vernacular, so. Let's go ahead and work on some line weights here. His hand is in the foreground, so it's going to be a little bit. And I just did what I said I wasn't going to do. His hand in the foreground. All right. From here on in, none of that. All right. I'll just talk. If I'm going to talk, I will talk while I'm doing it. His hand's in the foreground, so I want this line weight a little thicker. And also, if you notice, I've drawn it, this image, a little smaller than I would usually draw it. It's because man, I was watching Ink Pulp and Matteo Scalera. This guy drew a beautiful, beautiful like interiors comic book. I can't remember how many pages or how many issues of it, and he did it all at size. Okay, at size, and I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell until he mentioned it. He drew it all at size, and this is a little above size. It might be one up. I think it's like 11 by or 8.5 by 12 is what this is right here. But yeah, it's an experiment on trying to, not trying to. It's an experiment on doing that, right? Just not at size because wow, that's. Man, you got me tripping at that size. I mean, okay, you do a thumbnail and it looks great as a thumbnail, and I've seen really detailed thumbnail, right? But dedicating so many pages to drawing at size, and mangakas draw at mangakas draw at a smaller size than 11 by 17. Right, so I decided that, you know, let me try drawing a little smaller to see, you know, and I'll be honest with you, one of the main reasons why I'm doing that is so that I can color it, and believe me, as expensive as markers are, the smaller, or, you know, the smaller the image that you're coloring, the better, so that's my basic reason for even doing that, so. For drawing it this small, but it's coming out, so you know, hey, you learn something new every day, and you save some money at the same time. Why not lean into it and just make it common practice, right? All right, so what was I saying? I was doing this line a lot thicker here, so you can know that was his hand. And there's so much, it's very intricate what's going on with the costume that you almost need this because just to separate it from, you know, the background and all the other stuff going on with the costume. And you know where the figure is, you know what's coming forward and what's going back. I mean, it shouldn't be hard to tell anyways, but, you know, this is how a lot of people do it. This is how I do it. And I'm not, disclaimer, I'm not a teacher, but at the same time, I'm just talking about my process as you watch it, and wow, look at all of this. Wow, this is, oof. It did not take long, right? It took more time to figure out how, right? What, and okay, I see what he's doing, but I don't know how. And then it just, while I was drawing the original sketches, it hit me, and I was like, oh, I got it. I get what he's doing. I understand now, you know. And a lot of times people say study, well, just draw what that guy drew. Well, okay, that would be considered a study, but at the same time, a in-depth study would be to ask yourself why, and then to figure out the method, or get a gist of, you know, because there's a lot of like different, put it this way, see how these are flowing? It's almost coming out from here, boom, boom, boom. So there's a design element going on here, like I said, in Art Deco, right? And once you understand that, and if you don't understand Art Deco, that's fine too, just look really closely at what he's doing here, so you can figure out. See, this would be a top. This here would be a top layer of the, and the bottom layers are like sinew, almost like muscles underneath. Right? And I figured that out doing the Witchblade study. So, see, if those go this way, then these go like this. Right? Like I said, there's no way you can animate this with all of this detail. There's no way. See, that's what I would think. AI. Well, now animators don't have jobs, and damn, that is true. So I can't really, as much as AI would make that happen probably quicker. I have to say no on that, really, because animators will lose jobs. What do you guys think out there? You think animators, are more important than, getting something you want to have done? I mean, I'm not going to use AI, but animation is very difficult. Animation is and it could be expensive, right? And a lot of times people who, granted, it's a difficult thing. People who do in betweens and stuff like that are very valuable to do in betweens. You understand what I'm saying? So if that's because they're not going to have somebody who's really, really, really talented or doing in betweens. It's usually, and this is why it's important to have, real people doing in betweens, is because a lot of that is their learning, right? This is, you got young artists coming out. Oh, well, they're not good enough, but they got potential. Oh, let's have them do in betweens because they're that good that letting them do in betweens, man, it's such. I've never done in betweens before, but I can imagine that is such a great learning experience for any artist or any creator, right? You learn so much, I would love to. I've tried my hand at animation, and guess what? I didn't want to do the in-betweens. That's why whatever I did looked a little choppy. But, yeah, so that's a lot of work, right? Doing in-betweens. And I think it's important to have that as a, somewhere, like a thing, where, like, up-and-coming artists and illustrators can do and learn a lot from as they're, learning. I would say that doing in-betweens would be just that, right? The perfect job for people who are learning. And to have AI do it would totally, take that away from that school of learning. It's a damn shame. So you know what? I'm gonna say no on AI animating something this intricate, because I don't even think a human being in betweener would want to do it. Just like, yo, you better pay me more. You better cough up some loot if you want me to do all of this in betweening. That's wild. But yeah, it's a great costume design, and it's going to be very challenging me for hopefully the pages that I submit. I still haven't. You know what? I still haven't read that script yet. I have both the scripts, and I don't want to read it until I get these characters down, right, to a point where. And it's the time. Oh my God, time's getting late. Time is a movement. It's not slowing down for me. So I know that I got about 2 months to do 16 pages, and you've already got a head start. You better get working, man. Or if you're already done, wow, you beat me to it. But the deadline is a deadline, and that's July 27th. I'm sorry, July 7th. So I still got time. I still got time. All right. So, the legs. I haven't even looked at a reference for the legs yet, so I need to do that at some point. I just want to, get on top of what I've already started and make sure that at least all the elements are in. You can see the little demons I got here. There's another demon which I haven't finished. It's going to be that, I think it's a three-headed snake demon that he usually has. I'll have it coming. I even did, I don't know why, just for the extra, right? Did the darkness logo in here by hand, and I'm just gonna, the snake comes down from here, right? Almost from like I don't know, the clouds or a whirlwind. And what I want to do is I want it to be braided almost and twisted together. And it's like a three-headed snake. He has like, I think like 5 demons that he kicks it with, or that torture. And it's such an odd, and in a way, like a very whimsically odd and interesting what's the word I'm looking for? I was watching a video about, or was it about, like Hollywood screenwriters, right? And if you're doing comic books, that's pretty much what you are. I mean, that, I don't want to say that would be the next step. Like, oh, well, I write comic books. I could do screen scripts or screenplays, whatever. It's all the same thing. It's a visual medium that needs to have a coherently written, and guess what? That's a writer's job. Me, forget about it, man. I'm still trying to learn how to write, just so I can, and stuff ain't that bad, but you guys can be the judge of that once I get it published. But I'm more comfortable drawing something that someone has already written. So as you'll notice, I'm a lot quicker when it comes to that. And you've seen my cartoony style. This is my comic book style. This is what I would do. And I love this world, because the demons are already, they give themselves to cartoons, right? And I love cartoony. But yeah, this is how I draw my male superheroes. There's a snake right here he's got coming up. His mouth goes like that. And we're going to make them funny, right? I might not even, I might not even commit to that. Matter of fact, I tell you what, let's find my eraser, right? Let's find my eraser, right? Thank you. Here we go. And we're going to go ahead and not even worry about that guy until we get most of these guys. I do want an impression of him, though, right? I kind of like the way that was, but let's just leave that impression of him. And I'll figure out what I'm going to do with him once I get there. So there's one of his heads, right? Comes there. And another one of his heads comes down here. So you want to pay attention to your silhouettes. This guy right here is a silhouette. You don't want any tangents. So what I'll do here is I'll make sure this snake's head. And plus, if you notice, I'm using a lot of, see these lines here? I'm probably going to draw a city, so they're above the city, and then the city you'll be looking down into the city. So maybe here's a city street, and there's a bunch of little cars or whatever. Those will be the building, structure of the buildings based on this. Here, and this will be the curvature of the earth. Maybe we'll have some cool clouds up in here or whatever. But that is peripheral right now. And I want to get these figures and that snake's head. And you'll notice the horizon lines here. Okay. So anything above it is going to go to a point, and everything below is going to go to a point. So since we're below that horizon, we want to see the top of that snake creature's head as he comes through without. That's right, this is, that snake goes up here, and it creates a nice composition, so, at least in my opinion. And I've already messed up doing that over there. We need to go more like this. Okay, braided and twisted together, creating that three-headed snake. Because that's how you do braids, right? With three strands. I thought it would look cool. He was braided together at some point. And then they all come out. All right, one goes up this way. That's right, this one comes that way. This one comes that way. I thought about one right here. And then this one down here, which would probably go like this. Maybe it comes right here. Bam, right? And we want to see the top of its head. Alright, because of the fisheye, right, lens that we're using here is a camera lens, basically. And I know it's kind of difficult to do that, but once you practice it, and when I say practice it, I don't mean look at it once and try it. I mean, practice it and practice it. That means you got to draw a lot, you know. Or at least, you know, one of the best ways to study is to actually, rather than take your, I know this is a good way to study too. I encourage both ways. You open your sketchbook and you study. Right? And you draw a bunch of stuff going on. And the second best way to study is to do a piece with all of that put together and try to do a finished piece, basically, rather than just studies. But I encourage both, right? It's almost like when you're doing sketches, you're not really committed, right, to do something finished. Because, hey, they're just studies, right? I'm just sketching. This is not, these aren't, you know, finished pieces because I'm studying. Well, when do you stop doing that, and when do you start, like, applying it to something? Well, the obvious answer to that is when you get paid, right? But you're not often paid. I'm not being paid for this. I intend to at some point, but this is, like I said, this is for talent search, and this is the hat I'm throwing in. So I'm just gonna apply all the knowledge that I've learned, and shoot the shot, you know? Shit the shot. And yeah, so do that. I encourage you to do that. Do both of it. And I think see, I'm glad I didn't commit. Glad I didn't commit to this guy, because I can see a better way. Just by leaving it alone, right? Leave it alone. You know, look at that. Come back to it and, ooh, I got a better way. All right, I'm gonna go like this. All right, that's better right there. See, and then we get this nice little design. See, I'm not just like pulling this out of the woodwork, right? See how this line comes here for the snakes? All right, and they're gonna come in, you know, kind of twisty like that, because they're twisted together. But look how it follows, right? It follows this line, right? It follows. It even follows through it, right? It's almost like, in a sense, since these are his, like, minions or whatever, in a sense, it's cradling him. So it's almost like it's a protector as well, Right? Almost looks like he's, you know, riding. He's in front of it, of course, but so this from, I would say, from here, this would be the silhouette, and just so I don't break that silhouette of him. When I say silhouette, I mean the silhouette of the snake. The silhouette of the snake, the three-headed snake. All right, well, from right there, I don't want any tangents, so I keep that overlap, right? You want that overlap. See, if I were to draw the silhouette here, then you would lose his silhouette. I'm juggling here, right? It's a job, and it's really tough to do that already. But if you're trying to do something within a day, right, then don't try to edit videos, because you know, that's what kept me from finishing this in a day in the first place. I should have, forget about that. Oh, but I got to put something on the YouTube. I got to put something on the no, screw all that, because if I didn't worry about that, I would have been finished with this already. So now you have to suffer with me, right? You really don't. You know, misery needs company, but guess what? Company's going to slow me down. So, and he's got, I think, 5 demons, 6 of them, and they're all distinct. So let's figure out which demon goes where. Right now, I'm not going to go look up the names, and I'm, you know, going to be honest, I can't remember the names. It's been a while since I read the Darkness. I think last time I read the Darkness, and well, you're joining the contest. Why shouldn't you? You know, why don't you? Yeah, I'm doing it right now. I'm doing all that research right now. Because I just heard about the contest, right? If I'd have heard about it before January, I would have started before January, right? I would have been doing this in January, but I did not. So now I got to break out all the, you know, the Google and do some reference research and all this stuff. And then, like, I drew not the cover. What was it? The Witchblade. The Witchblade drawing I did. Get out of here, Nat. I just got some new tomatoes, man. I think that I brought gnats in. All right, so, what was I talking about? Besides gnats? Oh yeah, when I was drawing the Witchblade, all right, that's when I finally realized I'm drawing the Witchblade, and I'm looking at the Darkness. I'm like, wow, that's right, he's got like these weird little demon guys. So I have to look up, who those guys are, their names. But I will tell you this, I do have reference, so I can draw them without knowing their names. Okay, so that's what we're doing right now. One of them always wears a baseball cap. And you know what I like about these guys too is they remind me of Mad Balls. Bad balls. So it's fun to draw them because of that. They remind me of Mad Balls. They all have interesting faces. Garbage Pail Kid type faces. And as I said, since we're looking, our horizon's here, we're looking down right at him, so he has to be that like that. This guy's on the horizon, so we're seeing him in profile, and this guy's above the horizon, so we might even want to change his, like that, right? So that we know we're looking up at him. I mean, he could actually have his head down, so it doesn't matter, but from here we can see we're looking up at this character. And like I said, that's something you got to pay attention to if you want to draw something like this with, fisheye. And it's a subtle fisheye too. It's not crazy. And as we see his back going over here. And I still haven't figured out how his legs are going to be, but we're going to figure it out. And my pencil's getting a little soft or rounded here, and I prefer, I did most of this with a freshly chiseled pencil. So, I don't even know why I brought this eraser out. I wanted to erase him, not erase him, but get some of those, clean him up a little bit. You might find yourself, and this is interesting too, it really is, because I have found myself, just because my pencil was not sharp, I found myself drawing a little sloppier than I would if it was sharp. Why that is, I don't know. Maybe it's this or that. Maybe I don't know how to lean into it. Maybe I don't know some things that somebody else might know. So if you know why that happens, or how I can benefit from it, please hit me up in the chat. I will take a look at chat in a minute to see if anybody has a good idea for that, because something I struggle with, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Right? And we can all use the knowledge, the info, right? I know I could. And we'll give them some, without too much effort, pointy teeth. And we'll just make him, all right, we got one of his arms right here. This would be a shoulder. Since they're like little demons, we can go full cartoony on them. All right, nothing. We got it. All right. One of his hands like clawing out or whatever. And then I'm trying to figure out if his foot should go like this. Like this would be the bottom of his foot. And then his leg comes back here. His other leg would go maybe this. And then his other foot there, right? You get the gist? Now I gotta erase this because it's in this silhouette. Try to keep your characters like, you want overlap, right? So, but it's hard to read the overlap, and I'm going to tell you what I did in order to make sure these came out right. It's basically your light table, right? All these characters I had already drawn out before on separate pieces of paper. So using my light table, I was able to place them in a better spot to pimp out the composition, as well as make sure that their silhouettes had overlap, but didn't interfere with the overall readability of those. What's he talking about? Readability? Yeah, this is what it is. This is what it is. I'm mollycoddling anybody. If you want to draw, at least anybody wanting to draw comic books, you got to know these things, man. And I'm not going to front. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. Learn. That's all I can say. Learn. And then there's, you don't need all of this stuff either. You really don't. You could, if you want to draw comics or something similar to comics, you don't need to know all this stuff. You just have to be honest with you, comic books, you just have to have a funny or a good story that is enjoyable, right? Charles Schultz, Peanuts, come on. Andy Cap. These guys probably wouldn't even bother trying to draw something like a comic book because they don't need to, right? They don't need to get that detailed or intricate because they got a product. When I say product, I mean something that people, like, it connects to the public. And guess where that comes from? Obviously, there's a charm, right, in the artwork, but it's mostly from the writing, right? It's mostly from it's because it's funny, it's enjoyable, it's relatable. It's mostly from the writing. So the writing is important. Luckily, I don't have to deal with the writing with this, right? It's already a character. It's already written. All I got to do is draw it, and that is a lovely place to be. But, you know, at the same time, I understand comic book. I want a sharper pencil because, yeah, I understand comic book sensibilities and comic book stuff, right? At least enough to, I guess, feel bold enough to throw my hat in this ring. So, and you know what? If I'm wrong, time will prove me wrong, and I will not win the contest. But that's not gonna stop me if I don't win. I'm gonna keep on going. I gave myself 2 weeks to draw this up, and that's what we're doing. I think I started 2 days ago, so I got a week and a half left, maybe. And guess what? Oh no, you didn't make the 2 weeks. Oh yeah, but look how much I got done. And guess what? All I need is another week to spend on it, right? And it gets done. And what I say about making YouTube videos, I do it for proof. That's what I mean, right? I'm making videos for the proof that I actually did something, and not just talking about it. And you know, I'm not trying to be a YouTuber, but it does work for proof, right? That way people can see it. Potential clients, potential, you know, what have you. And not to mention, you know, a lot of this stuff I will make videos of for Top Cow and Mark Silvestri, so they can see. Oh man, I can see what, he actually did it by hand. He's not cheating. He's not using AI. He's actually legit. He's pretty fast, right? He can get it done. This guy, you know, either he deserves to win or at least get some, get some commission or freelance work or something. I mean, that's, pretty much the goal. It's not, too much to ask for. There we go. It's not too much to ask for a reason, I guess. If you really want a reason why, I do YouTube videos, there you have it. I'm not monetized. I don't get enough views to really care about making YouTube videos. But I do want potential clients to realize and actually see, this is my process, this is how I do it, this is how quick I can do it, and if that is valuable to you and your company, let's go. But at the same time, I'm not trying to necessarily be tied down to that, which is a good place to be tied down to. The only reason why I say that is because the page rate is not, I'm not happy with the page rate, but I will do it just to improve myself. If merit still counts for something, then I have a feeling that I got a feeling that I might at least get honorable mention, right? Oh yeah, and that other stuff. If you watch my other video, that I had dropped like the cap, the top cap of one of my Sharpies here fell into a dark void of a corner in my living room that I've never ever seen, and therefore I will never find it. It still works. So shout outs to Sharpie. This pen that you have here, let me prove it, has the ability to still work without it after having not been capped. Right? Let me find something I could try or ink here. For how many days has it been? It's been a while, man. And you know, I need to show you something. I don't want to commit to any. All right, screw it. I'll commit to this guy's face. Look at that. Look at that. Get the out of here, yo. Are you for real? Yes. Amen. Seeing's believing, right? Look at that. It still works, dude. It still has juice. It hasn't dried out. Yo. Get the... Man. Alright, listen. I mean, if anything, oh, those aren't archival. Oh, those do this after a while. But guess what they also do, man? They don't go dry after like 3 days. That's wild, man. That's impressive. It's impressive. Anyways, I just wanted to say that. And yeah, I'm not opposed to Sharpie sending me, you know, a couple hundred of these. You know. That'll never happen because I don't have, you know, nobody watches my videos anyways. But if you do, and you work at Sharpie, my birthday is in December. I'm just being stupid. I'm just being stupid. Okay. Look at that, man. It's wild. I'm amazed. This guy, they all have ears. They got weird ears, but I don't want to commit with this pen. So let me find a sharp pencil and... Yeah, here we go. So I mentioned about drawing and live streaming and I need to learn how to stop talking because it does slow me down. Now I gotta ask a question. If anyone's in the room or if anyone watches this video, put down in the comments whether you think I should just go ahead and talk. But like I said, it slows me down, right? So the question is, should I go ahead and just stream and not talk? Because, and this is, I'm serious about this. I can totally do that. Totally. I just don't, I'm just not sure what's better, right? So yeah. Comment down below, right? Shut up and draw, or draw off screen and because that's pretty much the reason why I want to know. I'm going to be here for like an hour and I'm already at 50 minutes. So I really do have to shut up if I really want to finish this, right? I get so much done when you're not streaming. Or I could just shut up and stay here and stream, draw, and just, you know, not say anything unless I want to, of course. I could do that too, so yeah. Go ahead and, if it means anything, comment in the room. If I get no comments, then I'm just going to stream whatever I want and say whatever I want, but I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to be here for more than an hour, because the last time I was here for more than an hour, too slow, because I was talking, so stream without talking, or draw offline. That's the choice. Let me know what you guys think I should do. because getting stuff done is more important than, I guess, pandering to a YouTube algorithm. You know what I mean? So whenever I say pandering, I'm not talking about pandering to viewers. I'm talking about pandering to the algorithm. Alright, now they wear clothes too, so I gotta look at reference on. So I guess it's kind of cool that I'm coming to the end of an hour, so that way I can, I don't worry about these buildings. Let me show you how I draw these buildings. As you can see, the horizon line's up here, but here's the curvature of the earth is here. Alright, so these buildings coming down to a point, right? I'm going to need to, as you can see, I've already drawn these lines here. Since this is a horizon, the vanishing point's there, the vanishing point's there. There's a vanishing point down here too, right? Which is why the buildings are all going down in that same direction. Alright, let's find that vanishing point like this. Right? It's down here somewhere. So, keeping that in mind, where would the vanishing point from here, and the vanishing point from that side or that side, how would they create these buildings? Well, I'm going to show you. Find that point on this vanishing point up here and just bring it across. You can already see I've already laid it down, and this is without rulers. I'm free balling this because I know how to do it, right? I've done it a million times. I'll do it again, no big deal. Okay, and then the other vanishing point from this side will attribute to the tops of these buildings, right? That's fine. Let's make sure we have it right here. Okay, so let's just pick a random building to get started. We'll pick right here, and let's say that's a building there. I went off line like that. Okay, boom, right there, right? Another one here. Maybe that is taller like that and wider. So these lines will just do this, right? You see what I'm saying? Alright, and then you start building all that structure coming up. Different buildings here. And you have that. And then you just follow that process. You continue it. And that one comes off the street a little bit more. Maybe it's a long building. Right. And that's it, right? Follow that, follow those lines. Maybe that's a really long building. It goes back, right? And this is all eyeballing. Yeah, it's kind of tough to keep this kind of thing inside of your head. It's a tough thing to juggle, but once you get it, you get it. And you just pull it out of your butt, literally. You just do it, right? You have to keep in mind everything that you're doing, right? It's not something you could just make up. You can't. It has to be in your head, or you're looking at reference, which is fine. You can do that. References, looking at references is what's going to get you this understanding, right? But you have to be observant in order to be able to go ahead and do it without reference. Does that make... You know, I hate that question, because if it doesn't make sense, then I wouldn't ask. You know, I don't really care if it doesn't make sense to you. It makes sense to me, and it should make sense to anybody who's really paying attention or wanting to learn how to draw in this particular manner with your imagination, right? You get it or you don't, and that's just the end of it all, right? There's nowhere else to go. Right, so you see what I'm doing there. Hopefully I explained it well. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but at the same time, what else? You know, what else could I tell you? So, got those buildings, and these can come down also at the same. You can actually see, look at that. I don't even care. I could easily change um, where like, oh, those lines don't go the same way. Man, get out of here. So what? Right? They're close enough. They're close enough. You're gonna be a stickler? Do me a favor, right? Stickle somewhere else, right? These all can be corrected, of course. Like I'm just showing you. Um, it's not a trick. It's not a trick. It's a tip, right? It's not a trick. It's a trick would be something that's not. I don't know. You know what? I'm not even gonna go there because I've seen some dope tricks. I've seen some really nice tricks, but and I'm not talking about on the corner of Prospect and 30th either. I'm just saying. Uh, anyways, put a building right here. There's a building right here. Following all these lines that I created to do what they're doing because, yeah, that's what I do. And if you're learning, then go ahead and learn how to do this. And I mean, I'm showing. I'm not a teacher. Did I give a disclaimer already? I have to give a disclaimer. Every if you want learning, go check out Proco. Go check out ArtWise. Go check out the Art Codex. And if you want to learn from someone who live streams, Dave Finch. I believe Jim Lee is still on Twitch. These guys know. I mean, how else are you going to learn unless you watch somebody, really? I think ArtWise helps you with that, too. You can actually watch that guy get down, get loose, right? And just do stuff, right? So you can learn how to do it, too. All right, so there you go. That's not a lesson. That's just a, I guess what do you call it? Example, exhibition, I don't know, of how I do this kind of thing, right? So you can do whatever you want with it. You could either get what I'm saying or understand what I'm saying so that you can apply it on your own. Or you can be like, that guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, and I'm going to unsubscribe and I'll never watch him again. Because I wasted my time watching this guy, blah, 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 and he doesn't even show, or he doesn't even know what he's doing, right? So there are other choices, and yeah, I every choice is valid. What was I going to say? There was something else I was going to say, but I wasn't sure what it was. I want to do some shout-outs. I like doing shout-outs. I like to let people know who I enjoy watching on YouTube. I don't do Instagram, and I'll tell you why, because once they got their AI, their little AI model, gimping for fucking to feed itself as if it were hungry, right? It's not hungry. It's the programmers that are hungry, right? To make, more money off of fucking people. Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to say that. I want to be professional for screwing people over and taking their art, right? That's what that is. I actually feel sorry for the AI, even though that would be rather, I don't know, over empathetic, I guess. The damn thing doesn't feel anything, so why should I? But I say that in order to say I almost feel sorry more for the AI than I do for the AI bros. But the AI probably has more feelings than the AI bros is what I really meant to say. Anyways, yeah, don't stop drawing. It's humane, okay? It's something that we do. It's something that has always, like, from the beginning of time, the first marks human beings left on this planet were artistic. And that is why we know we were there, we were here, la la la, we were here, we were there, put our marks on stuff, and, Otherwise, we would just, there would be nothing. There would be no evidence that we ever existed. The only evidence that exists about us is through art. So if you're an AI bro who's trying to put an end to that, then you, my friend, are the evil, the evil villain of this story. And yeah, I don't know what to tell you, bro. It's not gonna work because this is humanity, right? It's humanity. You're not gonna find AI at your local art gallery. You're not gonna find them drinking wine at the local arts fair. There's gonna be no. And if you make a robot, right, that can actually paint an oil painting in front of a large audience of people, that's going to sound expensive. It's more expensive than a human being. Guess what? Human beings do that I want to say every day. I want to say every month, every year, and they show up at the art walks and at the art cafes, and they drink wine with, potential buyers, and not just potential buyers, but actual buyers. Right? They sip wine with people who enjoy it, and you're not going to find an AI robot out there. So don't be afraid of AI. Let that exist on the internet. All right, let it create porn for gooners, and let it just create false realities for people who, dream, and let it be the gimmick that I always said it was. Right? It's and compared to a whoopee cushion, right? It's a gimmick. It's a laugh. It's a goof, right? And yeah, may you get past it. Don't worry about it. Keep it there, because that's where it is. And since it started, that's where it's pretty much has been. I haven't really seen it do anything more, right? I really haven't. And like I said, until it walks into an art gallery with a palette and paint and can actually paint something that's not ripped off, then don't worry about it. You're not going to find it there. You don't have to tip your glass. You don't have to sip your wine to it. It will not be there. So yeah. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, I got to go offline. It's already. I might have been here for an hour, so let me check. And there's one person in the room. Yay! Stuffy Fluffy. How you doing, Stuffy Fluffy? Still in the room? Yeah, exactly. I'm reading all your comments, and I totally agree. See, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Unless you're arguing against me, then yeah, you still know what you're talking about. I have to concede defeat. Seriously, after that, if you're arguing against me, then you're absolutely right, and I will stand corrected. But if you're, call it, agreeing with me by, adding your opinion on what I've said, then yeah, I agree with you there too. Either way, I agree with you. And thank you for joining the room. You're awesome. You're awesome. If you're not subscribed, feel free to. I'm not necessarily. It's not really important that you do or not, but at the same time, it would be nice for me. I will be publishing some work soon, after July 7th, after this contest, because in order to even enter this contest, you can't have published work. So I cannot publish my work. So I have two things that I want to publish. One of them is being colored right now. One of them is still being illustrated, inked. So I'm going to wait till after this contest to publish those, so that way I will be eligible to actually enter this contest. But yeah, stay tuned. I love it. I love it. I appreciate you. And if this is the kind of thing you like to watch, or something that entertains you on the YouTube, you're welcome anytime. Welcome anytime. All right, I think I'm up an hour. Oh, you're still there, Stuffy. Okay. Are you an artist or an illustrator, or, and if so, what do you enjoy as far as that? That's way too many questions. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ambush you with so many questions. Maybe I should apologize for that, but I could do worse. I wouldn't though, but I could. I'm just playing. All right. Also, I mentioned before about getting the gist of how. All right, like there's actually I don't want to say a formula, but I have to say a formula to how he draws certain things. I don't know. There's a flow going on. There's a design. I think I managed to get it. And you're just a normal person? Oh, okay. I love normal people. More than weird people. More than abnormal people. I don't know any abnormal people, really. I think everybody's normal. It's just, I think normal people get a bad rap, right? Why? I don't know. Because people want to be weird. I don't know. But I love normal people. I love weird people too. I'm not sure which one I love the most though, so I'll get back to you on that one. I think I have equal love for both of them because I can be a little weird and I can be a little normal. I prefer being normal than weird, but I like being weird too, so. Just not around normal people. I don't know, I guess. And that pretty much means, not acting a fool in public. Do I like to act a fool? Yes, I do. But not in public because that could be very risky and, some people take offense to it. And when I say act a fool, I just mean being loud and obnoxious and, laughing at something that nobody else, knows what I'm laughing about. And to me, that's weird. But, like I said, I can be weird too. I won't even go into it much further than that, but let's say that's the first step of being, weird. And then it goes up the ladder to being weirder and weirder, and nothing so weird that I will end up in jail, guaranteed. But yeah. And that's why I love normal people. Because you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. This person's gonna do something that's gonna, either end me up in jail or end him up in jail or her or whatever. Yeah, that's the very opposite extreme end of weird. So I prefer normal people. Yeah, I think I do love normal people more than weird people. But nothing wrong with being a little weird from time to time. Thank you very much. That's high praise, considering I forgot what I was saying. I think I talk most of the time when I'm drawing on here, live streaming, so that way I can keep people engaged, because it could be boring just watching somebody make marks. But I don't know. See, I need feedback to know whether that's true or not. That's my guess. And if I'm wrong, then I will stow it, and I'll button the lip and just draw, because that's what I'm doing anyways. That's what I'm doing anyways. But yeah, thanks. Thank you so much for engaging. Absolutely enjoy that. So you are awesome. And I'm not just saying that. And even if I was, I mean it. Even if I was just saying that, I mean it. And I think that counts, right? Doesn't it? You gotta mean what you say. You can't just say stuff and not mean it. What kind of person does that? Don't answer that. uh, depends. Oh yeah, am I passing over? Yes, I am. An hour and 10 minutes. All right. Thank you for joining the room. Hope you learned something from that, even though I'm not a teacher. And I don't know, I might be back later. If you watch this video when I'm gone and you answer the question whether I should just live stream and not talk, then I will definitely do that. I'll take your advice. All right. See you guys later. Peace.